Beautiful. So who would like to read first?
I will, because I've got to leave in 20 minutes.
All right.
Chapter 21.
Let's go nice and slow.
The identity of the true self. The truth is not a set of facts. Written truth is not the truth, but only the arrangement of the truth into language. You have a birth certificate that states the truth about your birth. The birth certificate is not the truth, but symbolic of the truth.
Mm.
The truth is not symbolic. It is. It is the same for everyone. There are no two sides to the truth. There is not more than one truth. There is one truth. The truth is not a concept. It is real. It is all that is real. Your real self exists in truth.
Mm.
It does not exist in illusion. Your personal self exists in illusion. It is called a personal self because it is attached to a person. A person is a being born into time, a being whose existence began in time and will end in time.
Mm.
Do one more. The only means for the personal self and the true self to exist together is for the truth to be lived in time.
Mm.
In order for the truth to be lived in time, you must forget your uncertainty and be certain of the truth. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Alison, would you be so kind?
Okay. This certainty is antithetical to you. You think that to believe in one truth is to deny other truths. There is only one truth. Untruth must now be denied.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow, that's so good. And truth must be now denied. Wow, so good.
This
Oh,
will. Did you want to say something, Cole?
no, like I'm blown away just by that sentence. Like, wow. And truth must be now be denied. Wow. Ooh.
Hmm.
This will sound intolerant to you. It is a stance intolerant of illusion. You must no longer see illusion, for it is no longer there. This is how you must live with it. You must live with it as you once lived with the truth. You must find it unobservable. It must become a concept only. Illusion is a set of facts, or in other words, a set of information. These facts are subject to change and mean one thing to one person and one thing to another. Illusion is symbolic, and what's more, it symbolizes nothing, for it does not symbolize what is. This is your conundrum. When you have never known what is, you have never been able to be certain. You have no experience with certainty other than, and this is a crucial other than, your certainty of your own identity, the very identity this course has disproved. This identity has been seen as your personal self. Thus, your personal self is the only place in which you have experience that can now be used for a new purpose.
Mm.
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 Kim, would you like to read?
Sorry, who?
You?
Oh, sure. Even while this experience is experience of an ego self, it is still an experience as near to certainty as you have been capable, simply because you could not exist without an identity. You might think of this as being certain of facts and information. So these are the things about yourself that few of you have doubted. Those who have had cause to doubt circumstances of their birth are often consumed with a desire to discover these unknown circumstances. For your birth, your name, the history of your family, and the accumulated experiences of your lifetime are the things upon which you draw to feel the certainty you feel about your personal self. You identify yourself as male or female, married or single, homosexual or heterosexual, or they. You might call yourself Chinese or Lebanese or American, black or white or Indian. Your personal self may be deeply affected by these things you call yourself, or maybe minimally affected. And even more so than these things, although this hasn't as often been considered as part of what makes you certain of your personal self, are the thoughts of your mind. Thoughts that, while certainly changeable, are unmistakably claimed to be your own in the way few things, in addition to your name and family of origin, ever are. Even the most materialistic among you rarely count what you have acquired in form as part of your identity. What you have acquired that is not a form, you have, however, added to the few ideas that you hold certain. A degree earned or talent developed is seen as part of your identity, as part of who you are.
Mm.
Mm. Who would like to go next?
I can.
Thank you.
So too is it with beliefs. Many of you have a religious identity as well as a professional identity. Many of you have political or philosophical identities. You may call yourself Christian or doctor or Democrat. You may have beliefs you hold strongly, such as a stance against capital punishment or in favor of equal rights or environmental protection. And you may even, while recognizing, as you surely do, that these beliefs are subject to change, hold yourself to behaviors that fall within the parameters of your belief system. You think of these things as part of what make up the totality of who you are, of your personal self. So it can be seen that there are several aspects to your personal self. A historical aspect, an aspect we will call self-image, and an aspect that has to do with beliefs. The historical aspect is based upon your family of origin, its history, and on the life you have led since birth. The self-image aspect is based upon your race, ethnicity, culture, body size, shape, sex, and sexual preferences, and so on. The aspect that has to do with beliefs is linked to your thoughts and ideas about the world you live in and the type of person you feel you have chosen to be within that world. Whether you have given thought to the interconnection of these ideas you hold about yourself or not, they exist. Your worldview and your view of your personal self are inextricably bound together. In other words, the world you were born into, regardless that it was the same world as all other human beings were born into, is also different than that of all other human beings. And what's more, your experiences within that world are also different than the experiences of all other human beings.
Mm.
All of these things have contributed to your idea that you are a separate being and as such incapable of truly understanding or knowing your brothers and sisters. those whose personal selves and worldview cannot help but be different than your own. Those whose thoughts are surely as distinct and separate as your own. Does someone else want to read now?
I do it. Now, however, you are being called to accept your true identity, even while you retain the form of your personal self, as your true identity is that of a self who exists in unity, and the identity of your personal self is that of a self who exists in separation. This will seem impossible, even while your belief system has changed and you believe that you exist in unity. All the things we have enumerated above will act to challenge this belief unless you're able to see them in a new light. No matter what you believe, while you have a body that is different from all the rest, a name that distinguishes you from some and yet links you with some, a nationality that separates you from other nationalities, and a sex that divides you from those opposite you. Unity will seem like a belief only. Thus, certain things about your personal self must be accepted as aspects of your form and cease to be accepted as aspects of your identity. This will cause your existence to seem to have more of a dualistic nature for a short time, while you carry observance forward into observance of your personal self. As was said at the beginning of this treatise, by the time the learning of this treatise is complete, the personal self will continue to exist only as the self you present to others. It will be a representation only. It will represent only the truth. It will no longer be seen as your identity, but as representing your identity. An identity that has nothing to do with the thought of a separate mind or the circumstances of the physical body. And yet, what might seem contradictory is that I have said that we can also use the certainty you have felt about your identity for our new purpose. The purpose of the miracle that will allow you to exist as who you are in human form.
Mm-hmm.
How, you might rightly ask, can you cease to identify yourself as you always have and use the only identity you have been certain of for a new purpose? I'm complete. Thank you.
I can continue.
Great, Andrew. Thank you.
The answer 2 will seem contradictory, for the answer lies in realizing that your former identity does not matter, even while realizing that it will serve your new purpose. Further, there are even 2 aspects to this contradictory seeming answer. One is that your certainty regarding the identity of your personal self will be useful as that certainty is translated to the thought system of the truth and aids you in becoming certain of your true identity. Does anyone want me to read that sentence again?
Yes, please.
Yep. One is that your certainty regarding the identity of your personal self will be useful as the certainty is translated to the thought system of the truth and aids you in becoming certain of your true identity. Seems like we're making lemonade out of lemons. The second is that the very differences that you seem to have will be seen as sameness by some and will attract them to you and to the truth you now will represent. While this has been called the time of Christ, it is obviously no longer the time of Jesus Christ. My time came and my time ended. The time when a single baby born of a virgin mother could change the world has passed. The world is quite simply bigger now, and the identities of your personal selves split by far more than history and far more than the oceans that separate east from west. This is why this call to return to yourself is being sounded far and wide, and why it goes out to humble and ordinary people like yourself. There is no exclusivity to this call. It excludes no race, nor religion, nor ones of either sex or sexual preference. It but calls all to love and to live in the abundance of the truth. That's me.
I'll go on. In other words, it will matter not that there will be no priest or guru for those who seek the truth to turn to. Yay! It will matter not that a black man will not turn to a white man or a Muslim will to a Christian. It will not matter if a young person looks to one his or her own age or turns to someone older. And yet, it will matter that someone will look at you, and see that you are not so different than he or she. Ooh. Hello, guys. It will matter that someone will look at you and be drawn to the truth of him or herself that is seen reflected there. Beautiful. Oh, what I'm saying is that your differences can serve your purpose until differences are no longer seen. What I'm saying is that you can remain confident in your personal self, knowing that your personal self will serve those you are meant to serve. What you have seen as your failings or weaknesses are as valuable as are your successes and strengths. Oh, that's so true. What has separated you will also unite you.
Mm.
It is not being said that anyone should or will remain blind to the unity that exists beyond all barriers of seeming differences, such as those of race and religion. This is simply being said that they do not matter. It will not matter if a person turns to someone like him or herself to find the truth, or if a person turns to someone totally unlike him or herself to find the truth. It has been said many times, willingness is a starting point, and as can be surely understood, where one is willing, another may not be. Anyone else?
I can again if no one else wants to read.
Thanks, Donna.
There is no other who can follow the call meant for you. No other who can give the response you are meant to give.
Mm-hmm.
Do not make any false plans that give you your power to others more learned of this course.
Mm-hmm.
Do not make any false plans that give your power to others more learned of this course than you to be the Saviour only you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Do not think that only those who are more bold than you, or who speak more eloquently, or who are better examples of a good and saintly life, are those who will lead the way for others to follow. Do not give in to the idea that one special one is needed, nor give to anyone a role you would not claim for yourself. No leaders and no followers are needed. This is quite obviously an old way of thinking. While no one is called to evangelize, all are called equally to represent the truth and to observance of the truth. That you each will do this in ways unique to who you are must be further addressed and seen as it relates to the relationship between the personal self and the self, with a capital S.
Mm-hmm.
Truth and its representation and observance. I'll read that last sentence again. That you each will do this in ways unique to who you are must be further addressed and seen as it relates to the relationship between the personal self and the self, the truth and its representation and observance.
Beautiful. Anybody would like to share anything? Don't have to either, no pressure.
What a high goal to reach for, isn't it?
The only one worthy striving of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just going to take a miracle for me.
You're so cute.
I just feel like I kind of hear what he's saying, but I don't get it. You know, like he's talking clear, like he's saying it so expresses it so beautifully, and yet I don't feel like I can receive very much.
That's okay, because sometimes you do and sometimes you don't, Same here. Sometimes I'm reading this and I go like, what the fuck, And sometimes I'm in tears, I'm connected, like it reconnects to me with me in such a way that I'm in awe of that connection, that one can connect so deeply within a self to become so lush, within. And sometimes I'm not. And I think my days when I'm not are not so harsh, because we can beat ourselves up when we're not fully connected. We can go into this judgment like, oh, I'm not getting this or whatever. But, sometimes it's like, wow, I'm so disconnected today. Or I'm not getting it. I'm not following it. So I hear you.
Now, it might sound a bit insane, like a bit crazy, but so I gave up coffee because my sleep's been really bad. I gave up coffee, but the reason I drank coffee was because there's something in the coffee that opens my mind to this, that opens me to it. And I find it really hard to make that connection without it. It sounds insane. It's not the caffeine, it's something else about the.
Why not? Why not
able to,
drink it?
So I don't have this thing I can rely on to help me,
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to have that. Like, I think it's a good thing,
Yeah. I mean, I love it, but I don't even know what to do. My sleep's bad anyway, whether I drink it or not, but it's worse when I drink it. So I just feel like I'm falling apart.
Yes. In that manual where it says at the end of each book, it says, little instructions, and he says, if you don't understand, just accept you don't understand and move on.
Okay, cool. I don't understand.
Yes, beautiful. And that's all, like sometimes we just don't, right? Anyone here sometimes don't understand it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
you're
I
in
know
good
it'll
company.
probably just come to me in a moment when I'm not
Yes.
thinking about it,
And sometimes he's prepping you, like even with the lessons of A Course in Miracles, sometimes it's just like you just go, what the hell is he on about? And then 2 lessons later, he gets like, oh, yeah, wow, So yeah, it's it's doing you despite you. And sometimes we're not fully conscious how much it's actually doing us.
Yeah.
I find it absolutely fascinating. Like there's one sentence that just blows my mind for 3 weeks, It's like, what?
Yeah, it's percolating like the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny actually about the coffee because one day I thought, oh, I've just got to have a coffee, and I had one and it didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Yes.
Look, I don't really know what, like, so I give myself a hard time. That's surprising, isn't it? About. So I've got this, in this health thing going on, and I take stuff because it helps me. I take different supplements and things, but I hear him saying the body is neutral and it's about the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of thinking, all of this process, every time I go and order new stuff online to help this condition I seem to find myself in. I'm wondering, well, when am I going to have true healing? Like, when am I going to be able to give up this stuff that I believe in? It's just sort of another side issue, I suppose.
Mm.
It's all seems to be tied in though with the whole coffee, belief in coffee helping and
Mm.
I think the writer is clearly saying that there is the human part of us and to accept it
yeah,
as is, just accept the imperfections, the perfections, but also he's also saying, but don't forget the true self, which is within, and very much a balance of knowing the human self and the triggers of the mind. Don't forget there is the true self within. And the true self never leaves us.
Yeah,
I think I've
a little bit harder to connect
trust.
to. Yeah.
It's very hard to let go of the belief in things of the physical world. I think, I don't know, I find that conundrum too, like taking things that help the body and they're not taking them. And then I know it's a mind thing, but it's not easy to just make yourself believe something if you don't. I think it just takes time, maybe.
Yeah.
And, it's okay. Okay to believe in these things.
Maybe I just have to accept that. This comes down to acceptance again, doesn't it?
Yeah, always.
It really does.
Damn it.
Everything is
Really does.
okay. Yeah. I just love the way this is saying it's okay to have your personal self, because a lot of traditions are all about getting rid of it, not helpful. Because how can you really? You wouldn't exist.
It says that the truth will use the personal self for its purposes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we're working towards, allowing the truth to use the personal self more. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
Because
Yeah.
maybe it's already using it like to its full ability, and the suffering and that we go through, or the human desires and whatnot, is part of what truth, I'm not sure though, wants.
I'm getting the impression it's kind of saying it's the personal self that will only reach some people.
Right.
And it's because we are the true self, but it's the personal self that is what will be the messenger or the message for somebody.
And maybe even sharing about your personal self can help somebody find their true self. I don't know what the plan is. What's the right thing to say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and oftentimes I get so upset and angry. But listening to you, Allison, I mean, maybe the truth is using coffee. That, you know what I mean? It's the other doesn't have to necessarily be true. You're not drinking. The best thing is not to drink coffee. You know, the truth could be using the coffee, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
What's necessary. I mean, I've been hard on myself. I mean, I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Good on you for experimenting.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. I'm going to get away from the coffee thing, but talking about personal self and how it can be used and stuff. I go for a walk most days, and Jesus said last week in something that we read, that we're happier than we've ever been in spite of. And I go for a walk and I realize sometimes when I'm walking along, I'm not thinking about anything in particular, and I just realize I'm just happy. And lately I've found that I'll be just walking along and someone else will come along and I get this person coming towards me with a big fat smile on their face, smiling at me. And I don't think that ever used to happen. So I guess it reaches people in ways that we have no understanding of. Like, there's a connect, like that somehow there's a connection being made, without any effort on my part in that direction. All I've had to do is go for a walk.
Isn't that the best, Alison, when you're just walking along and a complete stranger just gives you this beautiful smile?
Yeah.
You smile back and something happens and it's lovely.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Well, even this spiritual realm, when you're surrounded by people who are pretty much on a similar path or the sort of same path, and with some of them, like from my experience now for so long, it's like I connect so profoundly and we can drop into this state of being where it's just like a perfect unity. It's almost unbearable, like the unbearable lightness of being. And some not, some just like to talk about it, or, and with some it's just complete just chatting, like it's not nothing, and but there are few, and I would say from my experience, those that are really profound connection, I probably could count them on one hand. There's really quite not that many where we just go into a complete meltdown, but it's available. I know what's available. I know what is possible. And that truth is freaking, like, it's not just like some kind of truth. It really is the inner connection, like you suddenly connect to something in yourself and you just go, wow. And when you connect to that and you meet someone else who's sitting next to you who connects to that very self, that's pure unity. And then the only art is like to stay, like, let's not talk, because perception is not an attribute of God. And I find that every time we start talking, it takes us out. That's why in the course, because also I don't recommend that we go into like too much talking, because it just starts spinning, and you're out of this, what this is trying to get to us. And we're going to something else, which we're doing daily anyway.
Sometimes I find the talking is really, really good though. So
yeah,
like sometimes it helps me sort of hear it.
Yeah, again, there's different ways of talking as well. Like sharing from the heart is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But then there's another form of talking which is just, I don't know, irritating.
Yeah.
You think, oh.
It's like, okay, we hear you. It's done now.
Are you talking about me now?
Well, no. You think it's you?
Well, I think it's me. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. But that's okay because do you know what? I love myself today, especially. Oh my God, I love myself.
Yes, no, it's a general thing. Like I could be even with my friend, like, okay, so after Course of Love comes my best friend, buddy from neighborhood, which we've been doing course together for, I don't know, 8 years or something like that, maybe 9. And we sit down, we have a coffee and we talk. And it's like blah, 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 blah. You know, my daughter and my son and my work and etc. And then we open the lesson and he goes, lesson 157. And we both go, boom. And it's like every single time we just go, boom. Like in an instant, we enter the kingdom and everything changes.
Mm.
And there is no time when we actually connect to this, like it's almost like there were 2 or more gathered in my name, there I am. And it's almost like as soon as we connect through the book, it just connects us like I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. So yeah.
Yeah.
What have you got to say, Tonka?
No, I'm fine. It's all good. I don't need to say anything. I'm just thinking oftentimes it's about, for me at least, about, well, it is about how people meet. And oftentimes if I tune into people, now we call it will. And once tune into their will, it's actually, you can meet them. Obviously, heart is important, but it's a funny thing if you how you can use will. And since I started doing it, it's actually quite incredible how you can meet everyone where they are, and you just go directly to what they need, and you know you just because everybody just wants to be loved and just received and just yeah, it's
Understood.
about understood, and it does everything else is BS basically. You just want to accept love the person, receive the person, and just wherever they are. And I think, yeah, that's I think that's why I maybe don't mind some. Yeah, there are days where I can't like stand too much talking sometimes, but there are days when, and obviously I talk a lot, so I completely I talk a lot, so it's not like I'm denying that. But sometimes also you can't really, because these experiences are so, like, you can't really put them in the words anyway, you know.
But that's the thing. There comes a place where suddenly you're taken into unity together. And then it begins to take you and teach you. Like like this says, you learn from unity. So we need to connect to unity with the willingness. And all is required is a little willingness to be taken. And what I find often, and you must have noticed this many times, when we actually sometimes finish the chapter, comes this silence, yeah, where like you don't, like you, goes beyond discussion, and in that
It's
moment,
interesting.
something begins to unite. Something's taking us somewhere new we don't know yet. Because chatting, we know really well, but this is taking us to a new way of being together, where you connect to God, I connect to God, and we connect. We connect
I
in
do
something
find
new.
those times of when there's no thoughts going round and round, it's quite nice. Like for
Yeah.
me, it's unusual.
It totally switches off this, and particularly if you really connect to the real feelings that you actually connected to, and you can analyze them or name them. They'll ground the mind into presence. And presence is delicious. Yeah. But in presence, there is no thinking. Like the whole programming of the perceptual world is basically non-accessible at that time, unless you so choose. And that's that choice. Like, what do you choose? What do you want? How do you want it to be? Like he said in that sentence, he says, it was so beautiful. I said, what was it? Yeah. There is only one truth, and the untruth must now be denied. It's like, that's a game changer. So deny the untruth. What happens?
Can I come
Wow.
back?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a wow, and then it's like we cease to speak because it's like, wow. You immediately get taken to the truth. You can only be taken there. And it is remembering, like it's remembering God. We learn this crazy thinking system, disconnected from ourselves, disconnected from the heart. And in that, we forgot God. And every sentence is nothing but a reminder of the truth, reminder of God. Yeah. So just for a second, you deny everything that's untruth, which is what? Most of it, right?
I understand.
It's beyond understanding. It comes to this like your heart begins to speak to you. Like the mind cannot comprehend it. Just like the lessons in the Course of Miracles. And these thoughts do not mean anything because you have given them all the meaning they have for you. And therefore, you don't understand a thing. So you're right. You don't understand because it's not understandable.
But obviously, you understand it because you're talking about it, right? The denial of like whatever.
Yeah.
That's what throws me. I don't understand how that comes about, the denial. Help me.
Yeah, okay. Well, how does it make you feel you don't understand?
I didn't feel anything actually.
Try again. How does it make you feel? And I'm not even looking for a word you say. I just want you to find like
A feeling.
how you feel. Like is there some kind of frustration or something? Like somewhere maybe you're even pissed off
It's possible. Maybe I got bad information many years ago, and I'm still thinking it's all bad information, you know?
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah,
There you go.
it could be it.
Awesome.
But it is frustrating to have a word
Yes.
in a sentence that doesn't make sense.
Beautiful. And so what's can you allow the frustration? Can you allow yourself to be frustrated? Say yes. Just allow the frustration.
Yes, I allow it all the time almost.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm
good. And
frustrated.
look, there's a face of Christ right there. Like you shapeshifted just for a moment. It's like admit this, what's going on, what's really going on. That's it.
If I were honest, I would actually say that I've been looking for the truth my whole life.
Yeah.
And here I sit.
Yes.
Still looking.
Yes. Seek and do not find. That's that principle. Seek. And we're telling you, it's always in this frustration, it's always in this rage, it's always in this terror of truth. It's in there. And just you even ask, like, help me. It's not if I'm going to help you, But in your, so like, okay, fucking help me now. Like I had enough now. Like I've been seeking, and nothing, right? And here we go. Go to the feeling realm, guys. The feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. But we don't allow, because we go like, oh, no, these are negative feelings. We should not have those involved in it, because the truth is all about good feelings or good feeling well.
I think I'm beyond that part, yeah, about good
So,
feelings.
so got into bad feelings and give them space to be. See? And immediately joy creeps in. Like
Dennis, you are so cute.
Well, that's
In your
letting all my emotions out.
beautiful. That's it. And just allow more, and allow more than you've ever allowed yourself to have.
But I don't want to be cute. I want to be not. I want to be the one that knows.
No, but you know, it's in your cuteness that the truth abides.
you just
I mean,
cute. Does cute mean in America? Does it mean adorable?
well, it does now. It didn't before.
Yeah. So I meant cute is because it has a maybe slightly different meaning in the UK. So it means adorable
Beautiful.
too. Cute, but also adorable.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm adorable. B, I'm so beautiful. See, I'm the cutest in the world. I know. That's all.
Yeah, so just be
You,
cute and you will find the truth.
yeah. It's the but how baffled you are that makes you so cute and adorable.
Yes.
I think one thing is that I mean, even though like this is a conversation and I am talking, but my pursuit is honest. You know, I sit here and look at everybody and say, I've done this my whole life, 70 years, and give me a break.
Do you think
You
we have
know,
it?
like it's fun to be at peace and not like the identity is so strong. The identity, like the denying
Mm-hmm. Mm.
the identity. Yeah. Oh,
But listen, there was something happened. You connected, even through the frustration. You actually connected to yourself. Then, when you connected, you can talk as much as you want, but you connected, and the connection comes through your words. It's not in trying. Like it's not in trying. You can't try. Trying is dying. It's actually
right, I get it.
becomes when it's completely effortless. When you kind of give up. Like you gave
Right.
up when you said, "Oh yeah, I'm frustrated," or and suddenly there was a smile on your face that was just so innocent. It was like the face of Christ right there. Then you start thinking about it, and you dead again, like we used to say. Mm.
Yeah, I mean it is important to me to know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's I realize that.
Yeah.
If I could just give up knowing, period, like just say I don't know and really mean it, I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm. This
Well, I
morning I
can't.
woke up in extreme early, like I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and pretty much hardly slept since then. But at 4 o'clock, I actually put today's lesson on, and the beauty about those lessons, and I'm not trying to promote it here, but when you're reading it, you're doing something. But when I listened to it, I was weeping. I was crying so hard. I don't think I've cried that hard for a long time. It's just connected me so profoundly. But it was effortless. I didn't have to do anything. It took me. It took me into this. And I was not crying about something. It was more crying because that was the only expression that could fit to this profound connectedness. And it wasn't like a little cry. It was like weeping all the way through. I was like, you old fool, look at you. It was so beautiful. But it was effort. That's one thing I went like, wow, I didn't do anything. I didn't even try. I just put it on and I sit up and I just said, I'm just going to let myself be taken. And there it is.
I think my mind thinks, I was thinking about coming down to the nuts and bolts and being honest.
Yeah, that's it.
And about when Dennis is saying he's been looking and searching for so many years. And I was thinking about today's lesson around the personal self and the true self.
Mm-hmm.
And often when in our personal self, we tend to criticize ourselves and judge ourselves. And that judgment takes over from the true self. And it's our simple awareness to be able to sit back and say, oh God, there's my self giving myself a hard time. And not grasp it, but just look at it. Knowing that there is a true self. It's about awareness, about being kind to ourselves and taking that expectation away that we have to get everything together in the moment we open the book. We need to be very kind to ourselves.
Beautiful.
I'm tired.
Is that okay?
And I love coming here with you guys. I mean, I know sometimes it's frustrating because I talk a lot, but it's just who I am, you know?
I love your talking, Dennis.
Maybe we can make a talking club, meet someone where you're just going to talk. It's like Sunday at 5 p.m. after the morning lesson. You guys have after, or some other day. You can just get together and chat about anything you like. That could be good. So those who want to have a chat about things, is a great forum. So it's not denied.
Yeah, it's like what I said about, about, ordering the vitamins and stuff. And I think about this stuff a lot. And often I feel like, this is not the place to talk about it, but where is, where is a place to talk about it? But I don't know. So maybe it could be good.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I am stubborn. I can feel it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Kim, what would I normally say to that?
I love that you never give up, Dennis.
Thank you, Carolyn.
There is a real strength in you that you never give in.
What do you mean, Cole? I am stubborn. What does that feel like?
Yeah. I said, is that okay? Because, there's always this punisher in us.
Well, it's like I really want to do it right. I don't want to do it second, finish second.
Can you allow just for a moment? Can you let it be second? Maybe that's your nail to the coffin. You want to do it right.
That's
what
right.
is right? It could be just another crucifixion, you know?
The thing about doing it right is that I have to make everybody else wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, I just noticed it now. I mean, in order to have this wanting to be right, I've got to find all the little nooks and crannies in you guys. That's not right because I'm right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For once, let the words find their way into my being and experience these things. Experience it. Just experience.
Beautiful. Go for it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And isn't God the first and the last?
Hmm.
Like, what's wrong
Hmm.
with being last or second or whatever? Like, what does it matter, really?
Mm.
Doesn't mean anything. First, second, third, fifth. It's just a number.
Yeah.
Mm.
Shall we move on?
I think the next chapter is really long, and I think it's always good to start it from because they're like a complete. Each chapter is a complete body of work in itself. So
yeah, there's a lot in there.
There's a lot in there. Maybe we'll just let this kind of be what it is and continue next week.
Wow.
Kevin, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. My microphone on?
Yep.
No, yeah, I'm good. I'm just up in Cairns visiting my brother on holiday, so
Nice.
haven't got the books or anything with me. So
How long are you up there for?
I'm coming back next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So everyone thinks I'm sick because I'm lying, but I'm always lying in bed even when I'm not on holiday. So it's
That's your trademark, man. It's your trademark.
Yeah, reclining Buddha.
Yeah. That's it.
You just like, you have it all sorted. You're just relaxing and
But he was sitting the other day and he was really straight. And I was really quite blown away by your presence, Kevin.
Yeah, it does change a lot.
You were sitting like this. It was like so unusual.
the art is to see this greatness even if when he's lying down, which I can obviously see.
Of course, yes.
We heard you snoring the other day, Kevin, too.
All right, guys. Happy?
Yeah.
I'll say goodbye to all you people with your hats on as I sit on my back porch in the evening sun.
Yeah, we are 7 degrees over here this morning. It's like, and in Australia, it's this kind of something like as if something came from like so cold. It's unpleasant. Like 7 degrees, you might go, what's 7 degrees? That's pretty good. Not in Australia. 7 degrees, you go like, ouch. Like my bone marrow hurts.
Well, we'll come around when we're in the middle of winter and I'll notice how you enjoy your nice warm weather.
Yeah, it was like air conditions on and anyway, beautiful people.
Thank you.
I was just curious. I can just ask Patricia, where are you? Are you in Oregon?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
You're in Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in Indiana.
That's close.
Yeah. A few hours.
Yeah, you should meet up.
Cole.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it would be possible to name the videos by the chapter the first chapter that we read that day?
I do.
Oh,
You do?
Yeah, if you click more, it's always written in there which chapter it is we are on.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, it's just
Because
easier
I was
that
thinking
way.
how good it would be because I went back to a former chapter
Yeah,
yesterday and I thought how good it would be if I could find the recording of it.
yeah, the recording. I think this is like a 51st session or something, or 50th, I think. And then underneath, when you click more, there will be all the different chapters. Sometimes we do 2 or 3.
Yep.
It's all written in there.
Fantastic. Thank
No
you.
worries.
That's excellent.
And it says the Third Treatise, and then we shift into Fourth Treatise, and it's all in there.
Yep.
So there's always more that we don't know about.
There's always more.
There's always more.
Comes to an observable truth. And then you will see it, but not with these eyes. And that's the beauty of observation. Observation is when you, like, if I ask you, look around the room and see people's hearts. Right? We're not talking about the pumps, they pumps the blood, but they loving self. Where is it? To see that, you need to turn on something else, right? And it's that thing that's the observable, almost like your heart becomes your eyes, and your feelings become also even deeper eyes. And you'll see, you see beyond the body's eyes. And that's the observable truth. It can only be seen through that.
That makes a big difference. That makes a big difference, seeing people's heart.
Yeah, huge difference. Beautiful. And so now look through your heart. Just pick one person and just see them through your heart. Just keep looking at them and see nothing else. That's denying the ephemeral or whatever just see them as God created them. And do that without effort. That's actually chapter 13 in a course. It talks about this, like, look at the spirit of the person. What do you have to see it with? You will feel that you're looking with something else. Beautiful. And you also notice that you close your eyes to see. Yeah. This is how you make it practical. Yeah. And notice what happened in the room. The whole room gone different. There's a different texture suddenly here, right? Completely different texture. And just keep looking with that, only that. Don't let your mind creep in. Just keep looking through the eyes of heart. That's how you see the face of Christ in everyone. And when you manage to see it in everybody, you will remember God. And look how simple. And if that's too difficult, you can pick a person and just say, the beauty I see in you is. You guys want to play a little game? Hey, Dennis, pick up a person and then say their name and say, hey, so-and-so, the beauty I see in you is, and then say, what do you see? The beauty in the other person.
Cool. The beauty I see in you is that you're always there for us. You're committed. You're fair. I think most of the time. I'm just being.
Yeah.
And
then say, and it makes me feel.
And it makes me feel like I'm connecting with you when I say that it's like just share everything that's not perfect, but yeah,
Beautiful.
to
Beautiful.
feel that this is me, Cole.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And did you see how we connected, like how quickly we connect? Because we begin to look at, how you were saying, like, I look at people and I criticize them. Well, how about from now on, you go like, the beauty I see in you. Yeah. Pick someone else and do the same thing, or someone else do it to him. And you will see that you suddenly turn on a different form of vision. Yeah. Because your judgy has no place. And your true heart begins to come out more and more and more. And especially when you see that you survived it and then that it was beautiful and joining and warm. Like that was so beautiful. And thank you for that, because I
The
don't
image
see
I
I
had
do
when
this. But that, like, you just gave me that gift, you see, the gift that I can't see that I have. Yeah. And, and sometimes with men, we do it like, hey, what do you worship about this guy? What do you appreciate within a man? It's like a slightly different quality, and I appreciate that you rock up also every time you can. And you're like right there you are being Dennis, and it makes me feel warm. And actually, how beautiful is when we come in the morning and there they are every single morning, no matter what, and even if it's like only 8 of us or 10 of us, but there we are. Anybody else wants to have a go? The beauty I see in you.
Reuben.
Yeah.
Reuben, the beauty I see in you is your innocence.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
And it makes me feel moved.
Yeah. Just keep feeling that. Moved. Give it more. Yeah, that's it. Even more. Beautiful. Yeah. You feel it, right?
Yeah. I know. I know that you're there, Kim, but at the same time, just thinking about Kim, she's already in my mind. He's in my mind.
Yeah.
Even when I just say, Cole, he's right there in my mind.
Beautiful.
I say, Dennis, and he's in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to transcend the physical and bring it go to the mind, and I can see you there.
Yeah.
I can feel you there in the mind.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Return it to Allison and say, Allison, I'm receiving the gift of your.
Yes, Allison. Thank you. I'm receiving all
the gift of your.
Yeah, the gift of your spirit, the gift of your love that you saw in me. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it makes me want to.
And it makes me want to give it.
Yes.
Give it back.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank
you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you see like the whole room just smiles because it's like, oh, we're looking at the God created. It's like the beauty without opposite, the love without opposite, the gifts. Everybody has slightly different frequency. Everybody has slightly different, like, when I look at Andrew, like he's a fucking unshakable, like sits there like God. Look at him. See, I totally dig it. Like you bringing your Andrewness, and Kim brings her Kimness, and Patricia brings her Patricianness. Like you bring this specific texture of creation. But let's see those, Because you could go like, oh God, he's wearing hat again. Or you could go, wow, he just looks like God just kissed him on the forehead. It's a change perception. You're making a choice to see differently. Yeah. And what a beautiful way to start the sentence. The beauty I see in you, or what I worship in you. I worship your presence, or your divine love, or your God createdness that's specifically you. Nobody's like that. No one else, just you. And try to do that for 30 minutes, and we will be just creaming. We will be like a soft butter. The whole room
Like
gets
what?
creamy, like a soft butter. Mhm.
I'd like to have a go.
Yeah, go, have a go.
I'd like to have a go. I'd like to say, Kevin, the beauty I see in you is a essence of deep love in the core of your heart. And this deep love that you have in the core of your heart is non-judgmental, and it's something that you have learned in your own journey of non-judgmental of others.
And it makes me feel?
It makes me feel that I want to just grab that part of you that I see and take it for myself.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yes. And where do you see that? You see it in yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
I see it in myself, but I see it. I had to see it in Kevin first.
Yes. That will magnify it. You see, when we see it in others, it's an amazing design. When we see the Christ, that's why he's got like, see the Christ in your brother, and you resurrect. However, crucify him, and you hanging on a cross with him. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yes.
How about a little song to wind things up, Cole?
I bet you have one in mind.
Let's see. See me beautiful. Look for the best in me. That's all I really am, and all I want to be. It may take some time. It may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. See me beautiful each and every day. Could you take a chance? Could you find a way to see me shining through in everything I do and see me beautiful?
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
I could play a song. You want to hear a song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear the guitar?
Yep.
I'm doing this piece by Ennio Morricone. You guys know Ennio Morricone?
No.
Ennio Morricone, he wrote this most amazing movie music.
I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've just made a guitar arrangement of one of his pieces from this movie called Once Upon a Time in the West, and I just can't stop playing it. So I'll play a little bit. Can you hear it okay?
Excellent.
Lovely.
Good way to finish.
Good way to finish.
Yeah.
All right, darlings. Well,
Thanks, Flo.
thank you for a beautiful morning, and we'll be catching you in a week or see you tomorrow for the lesson.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Mwah.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Hasta mañana.
Allá.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Yeah.